Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm Miss Virginia Senior America 2003. This is Fashion Notes. You are going to be fascinated with our today's guest. We'd never had anything like that before. And I found this young lady at Art a la carte in Occoquan, Virginia, which is a cute little town with many art gallery, antique shows, nice restaurant. It's nice if you just go and spend the whole day there. It's really wonderful, and you have a water there, which is, adds extra charm to the town. But anyway, she is making something that, that I'm fascinated. I'm sure you are going to be too. She's making miniature. I never seen the miniature in my life. Person that does this. I've seen miniature, but didn't meet anybody that does that. And I have to ask her how she does she do it, because this is fascinating and so real. But it's absolutely miniature. This is the difference between, original size and miniature size. It must be extremely difficult to make. I would like to welcome to our show today Carmen Griffith, and she is going to tell us all about her fascinating work. Welcome, Carmen, to the show. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you could come and show us. As you can see in front of us, I don't know if the camera really can catch all these small but really detailed pieces that she made. And I have to ask her, how did you start doing it, and what interests you to do just miniature? And how did you start it? You must be, very artistic to begin with, to do something like that, and to choose to do miniatures.
Yes, I started making crafts as a child. My grandmother was a tailor, so there was always fabric lying around the floor, and I started making
doll clothes,
Barbie clothes, and I got into it. I started playing with things around the house, and my first dollhouse I made out of cardboard, paper and cardboard and glue and tape, and that's how it got started. And then over the years, of course, I wanted to be more detailed, and I was trying to create an illusion of small things. Furniture. I use fabric, paper, and beads. These are my three main components. And supplies I use, yes. And I've also, I do other things, cross-stitching, knitting. We had to learn knitting in school.
Yeah, but it used to be, but I don't know if the people are doing this today. I don't think so.
We had to sew. We had to learn how to sew, and also...
That's called home economic classes,
yes,
is it?
Yes. And since I grew up in Germany, I'm originally from Germany. I used to play with Legos, and I still collect Legos, and I make buildings, castles out of Legos. And I have Legos since I was 4 years old. My basement is filled with Legos.
Wow, interesting.
And I still interact with it.
So when you make the thing, do you dismantle and start again, or is it just something and you make it there forever?
No. I break it apart. That's what Lego is for.
Oh, I know, but I'm so sorry when you make some masterpiece.
Oh, I take pictures and then I start over.
Oh, wow.
And
how do you get idea what to make, from Lego,
I grew up in Europe, in Germany, and we were exposed to the culture, of course, the local culture and the castles, and I just started from memory or from pictures, starting making what I saw. And I created it with Legos. And then also I made jewelry. I started because I had so many beads around the house.
You can do with Lego jewelry?
No, with beads.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And that's another craft I do. I make jewelry, seed bead jewelry. What I'm wearing today is
This
handmade.
is what you made it?
Yes, both pieces and more. But here, I'm today here to talk about the miniatures, of course.
Yes, I know. This is so fascinating. I hope, the camera can catch all these small, beautiful, beautiful crafted pieces from glass. How did you, how do you do it? It's just so fascinating and so small and so realistic.
Because I wanted a real dollhouse all my life, and I couldn't afford it as a kid. My parents couldn't afford it. So I started, if I couldn't buy it, I started making it, and it got better and better over the years. And then people said, hey, this is so cool, can you make me a piece for my dollhouse? And that's how I started. And I was starting to sell, and I had vendors going to shows, miniature shows all over the country.
So there is such a thing as a miniature. I did not know
there's
that.
a miniature society.
Oh, wow.
And I had dealers, and they took my things, my creation, and they were selling it all over the country. And so I ended up in Chicago, which is the international miniature show, and people were buying my things there. But these days, it's a dying hobby. I hope it will come back. I have so much fun making it, and I have so many ideas and stuff.
And how do you do it with the glass? Do you start with the powder, to make the glass, or you buy the glass and you just use the piece
I go to bead
melted,
stores.
and then and how do you form it?
I go to bead stores and I look for the right shape or color of glass, and it has to be to scale. I have to look at something and know that I can use it on a small scale to fool the eye, to create the illusion that something is small. So when I take a picture of something, and then people cannot tell the difference if it's real size or miniature, and then I achieved my goal. That's how the creative part is complete, is a perfection when you fool the eye, when people cannot tell if it's a full size or a miniature size.
And how do you know, for example, this is extremely small size, to look realistic but small in a proportion. How do you figure out proportions?
There is a rule. 1 foot in reality is 1 inch, and you take it from there. You use that relation. And I eyeball things. It's not all identical on a millimeter level, but I usually eyeball it. So it has to have the relation, the shape, and the color also to make it a certain look. Some colors don't work. Some shapes don't work. And as you can see, my pieces are very time period oriented. I'm concentrating on the more Victorian style of the late 1800s, early 1900s. And you have to be careful with the colors. You cannot use bold colors because that's overwhelming to the eye. They have to be more in the pastel family shades, and then also the fabrics and the paper. It has to be all in the pastel family. So it all depends.
Is it the miniatures something that has been done always, or this is some newer thing?
No. It's been an old hobby. And there are 2 kinds of collectors. The authentic collector, they collect pieces from authentic pieces that were made in the late 1800s, 1900s.
So it's actually old craft.
It's very old craft. And you can visit museums. If you go online, and you can visit museums, dollhouse museums. And
is there any museum that is really concentrated on miniatures?
Not so much. They usually have a section.
In the museum.
Toy museums have usually sections. But again, if you go online, you can find it in Europe, in Germany, in Regensburg, for example. There is a doll miniature museum, and they have only dollhouses there, but that's in Germany. So.
I see. Well, you have to start from the beginning, you
Yes.
know, to show us what's inside. This is fascinating, all these
Yes.
little things. You know, do you craft also the furniture, or?
I don't make the furniture. I give it character and tell a story. I bring it to life.
Uh-huh.
I used this piece of furniture to make a display cabinet for a Victorian style store
Everything.
environment, yes.
Uh-huh.
And again, the things I use are paper, fabric, and beads.
This is 3 components that she's using.
Yes, the main components.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's what I'm using. So if you, I don't know if you can zoom in, but the purses, they're made out of paper binders. So if you look close, you can see that I took paper binders and I glued fabric over them to create the illusion of a purse.
The purse.
Yes, because they have the right shape and the right scale.
Scale. I think the scale is
Yes.
most fascinating, because I will how to figure out the
Yes.
scale of the each piece and to look, you know,
Yes.
absolutely realistic.
Another household item that I use on this tray. Can you zoom in on this tray?
Uh-huh.
Here.
Put in your hand, maybe
Okay.
it will.
If I turn it upside down, you recognize it's a button.
Button.
So I use this tray, this button, as a tray base,
To put, you know.
and nobody will know exactly. And this is just an example of what can be done. You just have to have creativity and see what the potential of it.
Uh-huh.
Here's a more contemporary piece. It has a Godiva chocolate bar on the tray. Then of course, I make paper boxes, modern, contemporary, and antique ones with is cardboard paper. That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
And I recycle old birthday cards, and I just cut them up, and I just use them. Yeah, you just have to start playing.
You know,
There is no rule.
Then, you know, you have, you know, describe each little pieces of furniture, you know, what's in
Yes,
it.
the furniture are made, most of them are made by the company Bestpack.
Uh-huh.
And I don't make them. They're commercialized. I have to buy them because I'm not good with wood. That's not my specialty. I just take a piece, I look at it, and I start fantasizing. I start creating in my head.
Do you make a drawing first?
No, I never do. I just play along, and sometimes I change my mind. I start it, and I'm like, I don't like it. Let's make something different. That's not the right content for the piece of furniture. So I would take something that has an antique shape. I would never put something contemporary in there. I would use the time period to make it look authentic, to get a feel for the time.
I see.
For the period.
For example, do you do it, you know, first one object, you know, somewhere, you know, in the studio, whatever it is, and then you put in and you glue it in the
Yes.
piece of furniture?
Yes, I never finish decorating one piece in one sitting. I start and then I go, oh, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I put it aside.
Till you get idea about how to finish.
And sometimes it can take a week, a month to fully
finish the piece.
Finish the piece, correct. Yes, with the trays it's easier because it's a smaller piece. So if I have a theme, for example, here I use gold and black, and I just started playing, and I use magnifiers.
You must
yes,
have.
I must use magnifiers, and it's ordinary craft glue that I use, and I just start playing. I have pickups because my fingers are too fat for it, so I use tools. And I used to work in a dental field for 35 years, so I have a lot of dental tools at home that I can use, pickups and scalpels, so I can cut things precise. And
so you have to be a mechanic too, you know.
Yes, you have to be good with your hands, obviously.
Hands, yeah,
and it's
to
a
use
combination.
the tools, not just design, but you have to use the tools to accomplish what you had in your mind.
Yes.
Yeah,
And not everything is a winner. In other words,
of course,
I can start something and I think, oh, it's a great idea, and as I go along, I don't like it. So I start from scratch. Throw it in the trash, start from scratch. It has to satisfy my creativity. Yes.
Well, if it's something, you know, for example, you work on some pieces and it gets broken in the process of, you know, developing.
It can happen, of course.
And then, you know, can you reuse it for something else to fix it up and put maybe something, you know,
yes.
not to throw away?
No, you don't necessarily have to throw it away. If something breaks and you cannot re-glue it or re-fasten it, you can use it for something else. Or you can put it in a place where you hide it and put something in front.
In front.
Yes.
To be
so
on. I see.
It fools the eye. It's all about the illusion.
So you use all your material instead
yes.
of, you know, just, you know, discarding stuff.
Yes.
You can use it. Look at this tray. You have to see this. This is, I don't know, what is the tray? You know, it has the handles on the side, and there are three. This is like for the.
These are beads, and the gold parts that you see.
This is something for the like a dressing table, is it?
Or the living room in the Victorian times when they have water canters and
drinks.
And drinks, yeah, or vases.
But this is, you know, so small and so, you know, realistic.
And these are just made of jewelry findings, beads and jewelry findings. Jewelry findings are the pieces, usually the metal pieces that bind the jewelry together. For example, a clasp or a jump ring can be a jewelry finding, or some decorative piece. But everything is, you can find these in bead stores. That's where I get my supplies.
Wow. Don't you think it is so fascinating? And there's so, for example, show this little, what is this? You know, it is so small I cannot even see it
It's just another tray, and I used just crystals.
Is this like a perfume bottle?
Yes, they're supposed to be little Victorian perfume bottles. Again,
see,
they're not authentic. It looks cute. It just works.
It looks wonderful.
Yes, and you can use them on trays, on dressers.
Yes, especially maybe on the, you know, like a, you know, shiny tray, so it can really shine.
And of course, the fabric, the corsets I was trying to make, it's just cardboard and with fabric glued over it and decorated with ribbon. So that's all it is, and glue. It's a lot of glue. It's all glue.
Well, but you have to know how to do it, you know.
Yes, you have to play with
it. You know, I could have all this material. I don't think I will know what to do with. But, you know, and she uses some lace pieces. And what is like a pillows?
They're pillows and they're ribbons. If you look at clothes, they're just ribbons that you can buy at Michael's. And I just glued
pillows, I see.
More ribbon over it.
And what is this? These two repeated pieces of clothing or what?
Yes, they're corsets.
Victorian corsets, yeah.
They're corsets.
I see. In a little box.
Yes.
Wow. And what is this little
These are just various boxes that you can use to decorate whatever your scene in your dollhouse is. You just have to play with it, yes.
I see. But this is a display cabinet, and this cabinet actually has a door.
Yes, it opens.
So you can open up.
Yes, I can open it up, and I can start decorating from the back. So you don't have to take the front off and.
Yeah, so you can see the back.
It has easy access. Yes.
I see. There are all kind of little things, you know. You really need that time to look each piece. And look at this purse with the, wow. you know, each piece is so interesting. It's a watch and all kind of the belt and pencils and bottles and gloves. Wow, gloves with a little beading and all kind of stuff that, you know, but so small. You must have some special glasses to, you know, to see what you are doing, because these pieces are so
They're
small.
just drugstore magnifiers, and I'm used to work in a small area in my dental experience. So I've always worked in a small field, so I always had to focus. So that's very easy for me to focus hours and hours. When we did surgery in the dental office, you know, we can spend 2 hours. You cannot move. You just have to focus on what you're doing. Yes. So that's all. It's over the years. It just comes. You get used to it. Yes.
Wow, it is so fast. How do you like to work at night, or?
No, I prefer daytime because of the lighting.
Yes.
The colors are more authentic. With artificial light, it makes your eyes tired faster. And it's just it doesn't compare to the daylight creation that you can make, at least for me. Some people are better at night. I prefer the daylight and natural light.
I see. And she said she does some other stuff besides, you know, miniature. You know, she's so talented, you know, she does, you know, many different things. Can you tell us secrets what you do besides these miniatures?
Yes, like I do also jewelry. I make this jewelry. That's my latest. I started with wire jewelry, wire wrapping gemstones. And it escalated into seed bead jewelry, and that's what I do right now. I'm about to take a class, loom, how to create jewelry on loom, on beading loom.
So what do you use, you know, in the loom? What kind of material do you use? You know, like a wires?
That's why I'm taking the class. No, it's just string and beads.
String and beads.
Yes. So I cannot tell you more about it because I'm about to take the class, and I'm gonna take that class at Olga's Burke Gems and Beads next month. Yes. So she has expert.
So you incorporate beads and some fine strings.
Yes.
Of what? Of silk or what kind of?
It depends. It depends on the piece, and what beads you use. For certain beads, you have to use a stronger string rather than silk. Pearls go very well with silk. Knotting pearls, you use silk for that. For beading, you need something stronger. It's called Fireline, and it's coating. It's fishing line, very thin fishing line,
because
coated.
It's strong.
Yes, it has to hold up.
And also it's light, you know. So
yes, it has to be light.
Easy
exactly. So it all depends on what you're using. And
so how do you keep at home all these very fine things?
Oh, I have it all at home. I have a studio at home. My master bedroom is basically a studio now, and then I have the Legos in the basement. My husband doesn't like it, but he puts up with me, so I appreciate it. And I just, whatever strikes me, I don't do the same thing over and over every day. I try to be I try to do different things, and I want to teach others what I've learned.
Oh yeah,
too.
I see.
I want to give it back.
So she's giving classes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm giving
classes in miniature.
I did have, yes, I did give classes in miniature before. So this is nothing new to me. Yeah,
this is how you started. Actually, you started with you know, when you were growing up with making a doll's clothing. So this is, you know, actually you show your interest in art at an early age, and you were, you know, artistic to begin with. But it, you know, I'm sure it helped that your grandmother was also artist in her sewing, and she had all the scraps of material all over the house, probably, that you can, you know, do things with it. which was, wonderful, to do it. But anyway, well, this is, I'm very fascinated in her work. You can find in Art a la carte gallery in Occoquan and somewhere else. And
Burke,
in
Gems and
Burke.
Beats.
Yes, in Burke. And, and she also teaches classes. So if you're interested to do what she's doing, you really, you have a teacher. It will be absolutely, fantastic. And you have to have a hands. They are really kind of artistic, so you can really work all this, because this is not easy, and it looks easier than actually is, because I don't know, I'm very fascinated with the miniature. This is the first time we have somebody like that does this miniature, and she said it's the craft that is really very old craft. I really did not know. So as you can see, we learn every day something from our guests. They are all talented and very interesting people. And as I say, we learn something. And what is your next project going to be?
Well, I'm going to take a class in looming, and I just, whatever strikes me, whatever commission I get, if I can do it, I'll make it.
If somebody say, for example, can you do me something, can you do it, custom?
Yes, custom made. If I have it, I have the supplies. I either have it at home or I can order it, and I can make any custom piece that goes with another scene, or if somebody has an idea or they have a missing piece in their dollhouse, I can make it. Yes.
And also the jewelry, that she can do also jewelry, not just the miniature. So she's a multi-talented lady, as you can see. All our guests are extremely talented, and I'm very happy that she came today and show us all this her beautiful thing. As you can see, you have to patronize the galleries in craft shows to see what all these local people are doing, so you don't really have to go anywhere. They are here, and you can get just about anything you wish to, because their talent is right here. This is Olga Jevtich reporting for Fashion Notes. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you tune in next time for another exciting show. Bye-bye.